Hi, I'm Elaine from Best Wrapped Handmade Jewelry Academy. I'm a jewelry designer and wire artist. Today I'm going to show you how to make a simple beaded chain link. For this mini project, you will need to cut wire the size of a bead length and 2 more centimeters or 20 millimeters on each side of the bead. So let's say this is 8 millimeter, so we need 28 millimeters. Or for our American friends, about 1¼ inch of wire. So I'm going to measure about 30 millimeters wire, because it's not silver or gold. I prefer to cut a little bit more, and then I can always cut the rest of it off. Okay, in order to make exactly the same loop every time, what I do is I mark my pliers, my round nose pliers. You can also mark the other side if you want to see it on both ends, like that. And every time that I create a loop, I make it exactly the same size. Okay, so how do you hold the pliers? For those of you who are just starting, the best way to hold the pliers is in a way that will help you, that will let you create the longest movement in the direction you want to turn the wire. If you hold the plier like this and you turn this way, you can see that you can only do 1/4 of a twist. But if you hold the plier, you start your movement like this, then you can turn almost a whole circle around. We're placing the wire under the plier and we're catching it in between where the mark is, and we are making sure with the finger to see that it's not sticking out too much, because if it sticks out too much, it's not going to be round, it's going to be in the shape of a drop, and that we don't want in this case. Now place your finger, either your middle finger or your index finger, depends on what you feel comfortable. I prefer to do it with this one, underneath, and just from this position, when your hand is facing up, start twisting the wire towards the long end of it until you can't go any further. When you're done, just release the pliers, turn it around and have a look and see where you are. And if it's still open, then you can put it back exactly on the mark. Doesn't matter where you grab it, and just spin it a little bit further, twist it until it reaches the long part of the wire. When you're done doing that, take out your wire, and you see that you got a shape, a P shape here. So turn it around to face away from you. Place the pliers in so that the jaw of the plier that is holding the wire away from you, and twist the plier all the way till you reach the long end of the wire, like this, like so. Grab it and just push the wire back until your loop is nicely located at the top like a balloon shape. So before that it was a P, and now it's a balloon shape, as you can see. This is the first part. Again, I will show you. Hold the plier when your hand is facing the top. Place the wire underneath, grab it, and make sure it's not sticking out by feeling with your finger. Assist with your left hand by placing your middle finger below the plier really straight under it and start twisting the wire towards the direction of the long wire until you can't twist anymore. Then open it up, turn it around to you, and check to see if you twisted it all the way. If you didn't, put it back on the wire exactly on the line where you were before. Grab it and just twist it a little bit more until it reaches and touches the long end. And here you go. And what you get is, I'll show you here, you get a P shape. Now you turn the P shape around to the facing away from you. Place the jaw that is away from you into underneath inside the loop. Twist the plier until the free jaw reaches as much as possible close to the rest of the long wire. Grab it and just push with your finger until you see that your loop is situated exactly above. And that's it. If it opens a little bit, don't worry, you can just push your plier back in the other way now, facing you, and push it back a little bit until it closes. And that's it. Now that we have the first loop made, I'm going to pick a bead, place it through just onto the wire, and I want you to pay attention. As you can see, the loop, I'm holding it horizontally just like the table, and then I'm pushing the bead against the loop as tight as I can with this hand and pushing on the same horizontal line, pushing the wire along the bead to 90 degrees like this. So this is the plane where our loop is located, and the same plane goes to where I'm pushing the wire. It can be either this way or that, it doesn't matter. And this is what we have. Now I'm holding the wire or the bead with the bead facing to the right where I'm actually having my tool, taking the round nose pliers and placing the wire into them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a loop going all the way back to the bead, because now I push the wire away, I want to bring it back to the center of the bead. I'm doing exactly what I did here. I'm feeling the wire to see that it doesn't stick out too much, placing it on the mark, grabbing my bead underneath and twisting the wire as much as I can until it reaches the wire back here. Now what you can see that happened is that I actually had an excess wire. My wire was too long, and you can see there is a little bit of leftover. If I push the bead against the other side, you can see it well. So how do I fix that? I eyeball more or less how long this part is, and I'm going to cut it off from the edge of the wire. So this is what I'm going to cut off here, something like this. I'm going to cut it off. Be careful that it doesn't fly away. See, now it's not really closed. Putting my pliers back in on the mark, and I'm continuing to twist. As you can see, it's still a little bit too big, so I'm going to cut a little bit more. Make sure you don't cut too much, because then you won't be able to have a nice loop. And that's exactly what I needed, because now it's full, and you can see that it fits exactly. And here we go. We have a bead with 2 loops on both sides, and this is actually a chain link or a bracelet link, whatever you choose to do with it. Now, there is a challenge for people who are left-handed, and I have a lot of students that have that problem. I explain to them how to make this, and they just don't understand what I'm doing, because their brain translates everything from left to right and not from right to left. So for those people who are left-handed, just stick with me and I'll show you how to do this the other way around. And then if you found this difficult, then you might be able to do it the other way around. So again, I'm measuring about 30 millimeters or 1 1/4 inch, cutting it off. And I'm going to work with my left hand this time. Yes, it's a bit of a challenge for me, but I'm going to do that because this is going to help some of you understand how to do this if you're left-handed. Okay, so instead of grabbing the pliers with my right hand, I'm going to grab it with my left. I'm going to put the wire from underneath. I'm going to feel and see that it's not sticking out. I'm going to hold it. And this, now I can see that I'm doing it with my index finger. You see it's difficult for me because it's left, but I'm going to do it anyhow. And now I'm going to just twist the wire, twist the tool until I reach the long end, and I'm going to check. It's still a little bit open, so I'm going to put it back. I'm going to twist it a little bit more until it doesn't have to completely touch, because we're going to open and close it again. But here you go, and you have a P the other way basically, or made with the other hand. I hope this helps left-handed people to understand my movement. Now I'm going to turn around, turn the P away from me. I'm going to put the plier jaw that is away from me inside the loop, and I'm going to twist the end that is not touching the wire as close as possible to the left side, and then I'm going to twist to push with my finger and bring that loop more or less to the middle, and you can see that it's now exactly on the top. It was a P before and it's exactly on the top now. If it opens up a little bit, you can always put the pliers in and just twist it a little bit towards the long part. And here we go. This is the first part with left hand. Now I'm going to put a bead in. And I'm doing exactly the same. You see that the loop, the plane is, this is the horizontal plane. I'm going to push my wire on the horizontal plane, either that way or this way, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do it this way this time because I'm explaining it to left-handed people. As you can see, this plane is the same. They're both on the same plane if I put the bead on the table. Now I'm going to hold it exactly opposite. I'm going to hold, oh, hold on, it is confusing. I have to think about that now. Yes, I'm going to hold the bead. Now I have to do it with this hand, sorry. Let me have a look. Yes, I'm going to hold the bead with this hand. I'm going to place the pliers on the top, and this way now my hand is actually facing down, my left hand, checking that it doesn't stick out, and I'm going to go and twist as much as I can the other direction until I'm reaching the other side. You can see that it's still not closed, so I'm putting the wire back on the plier and twisting a little bit more until it reaches, and this is almost perfect. It has a little bit of a gap, but it's not too bad, because when you make jewelry, you have to make sure that all your links are a little bit loose. Otherwise, if it's going to be very tight, something might break. And here you go. You have it made with the left hand. For those of you who want to see it again, of course, you can rewind and see exactly what I did. I hope this was helpful. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. You can see the information below also about my site and my courses, and also my Instagram. And you're invited to follow me and watch some more nice videos that are going to come in the future. Bye.